Hello, hello. It's your friendly nurse and health coach, and I'm coming to you today on fast foods and the danger of fast foods and the cooking oil. We have we have some questions already, and you can send in your questions anytime you want to. You can send in your questions, and we will answer them on the fast foods and the cooking oils. I have some questions already that have been sent to me, and we're going to go over those questions. Welcome, 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 welcome from Florida. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I have the first question that was sent to me, and this question is: what did I say about the high heat processing of the fast foods? And they are cooked at a very high heat processing, and it's according to how high heat processing that they have used with the seed or the bean that they are getting the oils out of, that they are, and what kind of oils that they are cooking the foods with. It's going to depend on the amount of the dangerous chemicals that are in the food. And the more they are heated up more and more, it's going to have a combination of dangerous chemicals in the food. And in fast food, they do have to heat the food back up over again and the oil back up over again to get you some warm food when you go by and want it right away. So, as we said, Hexon is an extractor that they use to get the oil out of the seed or the bean to make the oil, the different oils. It's an extractor and it's like gasoline or diesel. And they supposedly get these chemicals out when they make the oil, but they don't always get all the chemicals out that they have used in the process of making the oil. All right, all right. The next question it was what was the recommendation for sugar for males like 38 grams and for females like 25 grams of sugar a day. And when you go to the fast food places, you are getting a lot more sugar than that a day. 12-ounce Coca Cola by itself is 39 grams of sugar. And that's about 140 calories you're getting of that a day. So you're getting a lot more of that sugar just in one beverage when you get that fast food. And that's not counting the French fries, which is starch, is going to turn back to sugar, and any other ketchup that you put in there have got sugar in it, and some of your dressings. So you're getting a lot more sugar than you should for one day just in getting the French fries and the Coca Cola. So, which is better? Okay, okay. I went through the oils from worse to better oils, and butter was a better oil to use than the olive oil. Butter was the number two best oil. Number one was the ghee, and butter was the number two because it's saturated, as we had said. It's in its original state, coming from the beef or the cow, hog, whatever kind of butter it is. And usually most butter is from a hog, either a cow, grass fed. Make sure it's grass-fed butter that you're looking for. You want grass-fed butter. That means they have pasteurized and make the real grass outside to get that cow and that butter out of that cow. So certain types of natural proteins that's in that butter, and that's the grass butter, grass-fed butter. That's the kind you need to be using. Olive oil is like the fourth best oil to use, and that's the unfiltered extra virgin olive oil that you need to be using. Low and medium cooking. None of the oils are really for deep frying because the higher that oil pressure gets, that boiling point gets, the more toxic chemicals are produced. Let's see, butter. Mm-hmm. Butter is best for the most oils, and as I'm explaining it right now, because it's grass fed, it's a natural protein. That's why it's better because it's in the original state. It's saturated. Saturated, it don't bend. The molecules in it does not bend under a boiling point of heat like the unsaturated oils do. Unsaturated oils at a boiling point, greater boiling point, they bend. The molecules bend, which means it's producing some more toxic chemicals in it that's gonna go in your system and bring some inflammation, uh, some kind of chronic disease, the sicknesses in your body. And that's why a lot of people are coming up now with the uh, blood conditions and all kind of other conditions. All right, we're gonna go back to our questions here. Another question said, what is the limit of sodium a day? I said 2,300 milligrams a day of sodium is recommended. First, it was 1,500, and they said they cannot go no further than 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day. And that adds up real fast because 70% of the sodium is in packaged goods already. When they package a, a goods in the package and storage it in there and put so much salt in there to keep it preserved so it can last longer, it's like 70% of sodium in it then. So you only got 30 more percent of sodium to play with other than the packages already got 70% in it. So 2,300 milligrams of sodium can easily be accumulate. Okay. I would say pizza is more um, dangerous than uh, pizza are more dangerous than burgers. Burgers are dangerous too. It's going to be a neck to neck thing. But burgers are more natural meat. If it's beef burgers, um, which is saturated, and it's going to what kind it is, what kind of burger it is. All burgers, usually fast burgers are not 100% beef in the fast foods. Very seldom you'll find 100% beef in the fast foods. They usually are mixed with some more stuff. So it's going neck and neck because both of them are processed foods and already bad for you for inflammation, putting inflammation in your body. And you put them under some heat, it's gonna make them more toxic for your body. So pizzas put together with a lot of more stuff than burgers by itself. Burgers is like meat, but pizza has got more stuff in it. Cheese, the oils, the starches to make the bread with. So you got a combination of toxins in that. It's according to what kind of chicken. Is it grass-fed chicken? It's according to what kind of chicken that they're making these sandwiches with. And if it's not natural fed, grass fed, what kind of oil are they using with it? And how they cooking it and giving it to you. You got to look at how it's prepared, the food is prepared for you. Whether it's going to be better than another food. All right. So let's see. Another question is, how do I know I got too much sodium in my body? How do you know if you got too much sodium? You start to swell. You'll start to swell real fast. You'll start to swell in your body. If you got a lot of sodium in your body, you're gonna start to swell. Your ankles gonna get puffy. Your face may get a little puffy. You start to get thirsty. You want more to drink. I know that's why I know I've had too much sodium. I be wanting more and more water. And I said, oh, something wrong. They had too much sodium in this. You get a lot of thirsty. And there's nothing on this quench your thirst like water. So you may get swelling in your ankles, swelling your hands get puffy. And if you got a whole lot of sodium, you may get short of breath. And you can, in over a period of time, you can develop congestive heart failure. And a lot of people are running to congestive heart failure now. That's getting to be a major thing. I'm finding out a lot of people going through right now is congestive heart failure, and that's not good. Swelling, remember, swelling is inflammation. So everything starts at inflammation. Process inflammation. Tune it into your mind. Process information, process foods. Inflammation by itself, not even heated up, it's already inflammation. And then when it's heated up, it's making more inflammation. So you get autoimmune sicknesses. A lot of those are coming out now. And that's all starting from inflammation. Just, I'm not saying don't eat at fast food, but it's that don't don't make it a habit. You eat once a week, okay. Don't make it a habit of eating, continue to eating, and consuming all these toxins in your body. All right. Um, as we said, 70% of all packaged foods are sodium. So 70% of sodium in most packaged foods already. All right. Your blood pressure also gonna go up with salt, cause a lot of high blood pressure in people, but they get too much sodium. So you got to watch that sodium there. A lot of high blood pressure going around. See, someone asks, what is trans fat? Trans fat is the fat that's left over after they have processed your food. In other words, they have took out some good stuff out of your food and put some bad stuff in your food. Your making your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, go up, and making your HDL, your good cholesterol, go down. when it should be the other way. Your bad cholesterol need to be going down, and your HDL cholesterol need to be going up. So that trans fat is going to make everything turn the opposite way in your body. If it's making everything do the opposite thing that it's supposed to be doing in your body, therefore you're gonna have some conflicting sicknesses and diseases going on in your body because the cells don't know what to do. They don't know how to act right because uh, things that's been put in their body is bad and inflammation uh, forming. So therefore, the cells gonna get sick, and cancer can develop real easy then. And that inflammation is at the root of a lot of cancer too in people right now. Hormone problems going bad. Stop eating out so much. Cook your own food. All right, let's see. You got another question over here? Okay. I went to a smoothie, a King smoothie. I'm not going to say where it was at. And I was shocked. I was sort of thinking that they were using the real spinach and the real vegetables to make the smoothies with like I do at home. But find out they're using powders. And when I saw that, I hadn't been back to one since then. And I'm like, why are they using powders instead of the real spinach, the real kale, the real dill? I don't know what kind of powders they're using. This could be any kind of powders. This could be not the natural, the organic powders, the real powder. This could be some kind of uh, man-made stuff. So it may taste good, but maybe not good for you. A lot of times you can tell whether it's legitimate, whether it works right away, whether it's gonna clean your bowel out right away. If you don't go to the bathroom about an hour or so after that smoothie, it makes you wonder what's going on here. And look at your stool color and see how it's looking and all. Okay, so make your own smoothies if you can. I started making more of my own smoothies and taking it with me up the road when I go somewhere sometime. Because ever since I seen they putting powders to make my smoothie with in the King smoothie, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And sometimes it's good to watch behind the counter and what they doing when they making your stuff. If you can see some of the people, a lot of places you can't see everything that they doing, but I can see everything that they can do and doing in there, and that's when I realized what they was putting in there and what they was mixing. And some of them are putting sugar in there too. When you want the fruit in there, just the fruit, you don't want the sugar, because you want the natural sugar that's already in the fruit. All right. Um, yes, it is. Fresh fruits. It need to be fresh fruits. Don't need to be no powders that they mixing this smoothie with. All right. Let's see here. We got another question here. MSG do what uh, to your body? MSG it makes the pancreas spit out more insulin than needed in the body. It spits out a whole lot of insulin that MSG uh, in your body. It might need your sulfate because, but it speeds the pancreas up and making the insulin and shoots out too much insulin in your body. And if you already got a sugar problem or some kind of major chronic problem going on in your body, it's going to make it worse. The MSG. But if you got a healthy body, your body maybe can use that and that insulin in a better way. But most people are not healthy in this day and time. And the MSG also makes you feel hungry. It's a brain. It acts on the brain to make you feel hungry and make you feel like joyful, but it's causing death to the cells at the same time. So it's real bad, and you don't know who cooking it with MSG unless you go in and ask a restaurant, what do y'all cook with MSG? But some restaurants they can't tell you, and some restaurants are not going to tell you, or they may not tell you the truth. So the MSG can really cause some cell death there, and uh, and you need your blood cells. Let's see. Next question is what is saturated fats? Someone asked what's saturated fats. Saturated fats is those fats that the molecules in the fat go straight. They don't have any spaces between it, and when they uh, put to a boiling point heat, the molecules are in a straight line with no spaces. It don't bend on a heat like the unsaturated fats. They bend on a heat. Uh, so you got to watch what kind of fat are they using to cook your foods with. You got saturated and unsaturated fats. Two kinds of fats you got. You want the fats to be saturated, which is in the natural molecule state that do not bend on a heat. The molecules are straight in a line. A certain amount of hydrogen and a certain amount of oxygen molecules, and they are binded together equally. Let's see. Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Um, yes, they do use a lot of MSG in that kind of food. I know that I can't tolerate that their food. Okay. So you got to know, you get experience if you eat out to these restaurants. You will get experience what restaurants, what's the difference between one to another because you can practically tell by how you feel after you eat. Then you will know what restaurant you prefer. Because some people may can take more of one thing than another person can. It's according to how healthy your body is and what condition your body is in. All right. Um, and I went through the different uh, boiling points of the different oils and how the different boiling points of different oils, the higher the boiling point, the more they bend. And the more they bend, the more unsaturated fat they are. That means the more chemicals have changed the outcome of that oil, of that seed, or that bean that they was getting the oil from. All right. Let's see. Okay. What pots? What pots was good for cooking in? Someone asked, and that was the ceramic pots or pans, the stainless steel pots or pans, and the cast iron pots or pans. I remember in the old days, our parents used to cook in a lot of cast iron pots and pans. And finally find me some, and I use the stainless steel and the cast iron. And I love my cast iron and my stainless steel pots and pans. That's the best kind, and the ceramic is the best kind to cook in uh, safely. without a lot of chemicals coming out. Now, aluminum is one of the worst kinds because in Alzheimer's diseases, they have found a large amount of aluminum. So that aluminum will go in your body and cause you to have problems with Alzheimer's and then some more problems in your body. So you got to watch aluminum. Everybody love to put aluminum foil over stuff while it's hot. And you ever notice when you pull that aluminum foil off, you can see like a, a burn or a difference in that aluminum foil. That part of that aluminum have gone into your food, and that's not good. And people wonder why so many people got Alzheimer's now. So you got to be careful about that. All right. Another one is what is hexane, hexane um, chemical used for? And I told you about the hexane was the extractor, and it used with the extract the oil out of the seed or the bean. If you use the avocados seed, soybean seed, flaxseed seed, whatever olive oil seed, they use a chemical called hexane. And that hexane chemical is very toxic, very poisonous, very inflammable, autoimmune sicknesses, chronic diseases. They say they get all the chemicals back out of it, of the hexane, but they don't get all the hexane chemicals out. It's like diesel or gasoline. All right, Taco Bell. I hear you, Taco Bell. All right now. Well, I like Taco Bell for the vegetables, the lettuce and the tomatoes and the vegetables. I don't think they fry a whole lot of stuff, but just have to watch the processed part of it. Is that if they got any processed foods? Okay. Smoking point. Someone asked about what is the increased smoke point causes in the food. It causes an increase in omega 6. Omega 6 is a kind of fatty acid uh, that can be dangerous in large amounts. Omega 6. You want more omega 3 than omega 6. Omega 6 means it's got more fatty acids in it. So if it got more fatty acids in it, it's going to increase your chance of heart diseases, inflammation, chronic diseases, autoimmune sickness diseases, cancer. So you don't want a large amount of omega 6. You want the omega 3. That's good for your heart, your brain, nuts, seeds, or oils that are like a coconut oil, avocado oil, uh, omega 3s, fish oil, salmons. You want omega 3, but not much of omega 6. Very dangerous in increased amount. A small amount can be good for your heart of omega 6, but not large amounts of omega 6. Not good for you because it's cooked in a high smoking point uh, to get that oil of omega 6. So you don't want omega 6 in a large amount. Okay, and that's what they call vegetable oil. And there's really no such thing as vegetable oil. It's soybean. That's what they call in vegetable oil, soybean oil. And soybean oil is not good for you. It's the ninth worst oil it is because it's cooked at a high boiling point, very high, and it's unsaturated. It bends under that high boiling point. So you don't want that. You process a lot of processed stuff is putting on subways. They putting processed meat. You don't want processed meat. You want the real meat. You want to cook your turkey and cut it up and get the real turkey. Get your chicken and cut it up and get the real chicken. This is processed stuff, and most of those places, those fast foods, use processed foods. That's right, lunch meat. That's processed. You feel better. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. I love their salads though, because they got a lot of good vegetables there. And when you go and tell them to fix you a vegetables salad without the meat. There's always some good and there's always some bad at some of these restaurants. You got to look for the vegetables. Don't concentrate on the meats because it's processed. And at that, you can wash your salad again when you get home. If you don't feel like it's salad that have been cleaned good. But also, what I do, I use lemon juice and apple cider vinegar on my salad. Both of those are detoxes, and they will kill the germs. That lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. All right. The vegetables itself, I'm not talking about the bread. Because usually the bread, white bread, it was white, don't bite. And I don't know what kind of bread they making, what they putting in the bread. Remember, a lot of people can't take wheat, and there's a wheat is gluten, and if gluten free, I would say go for it. But that gluten is making a lot of people have intestinal problems and gastric problems, stomach problems, leaky gut. So it's going to what kind of grain in the bread. And some people can't take rye. Rye is also gluten. Wheat and rye is gluten. So you got to be careful about that. Another question was, what is fatty acids? I said fatty acids is the building blocks of fat in our body. They give us energy. That's what fatty acids is. It's used as glucose to uh, break down the fat in our body. And the more fatty acids, which is omega-6, the worse it is on your body. Omega-3 fatty acids is good, but not omega-6 fatty acids. That's too much omega-6 fatty acids. It's dangerous. So that's what fatty acids is, the building blocks of the fat breaking down in our body to give us more energy. So the less fatty acids, um, the better for our body. Everybody trying to lose weight, but yet they still eating out in these restaurants with these large amount of omega-6 fatty acids. And wondering what's going on, why they can't lose weight. Oh, they just stopped off and got a hot dog today. They just stopped off and got a hamburger today. But guess how much calories is in that hot dog and hamburger? Okay, extra syrup, extra sugar on your okay. On what kind of bread you putting it on? All right, extra sugar. It'll show in your body. It'll show how you feel. It'll show how your energy. It'll show around your waistline, your fat and your glucose will usually show around your waistline and your stomach. Whether you're getting too much of or nothing, you start getting puffy in your stomach. You know you're getting too much of glucose. You're getting too much of fat. Getting too much of starch and sugar because it goes right to your stomach, the starch and the sugar, directly to your stomach. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Did we go over everything? Okay, so the best oil is the ghee. Ghee, and you use that for stir fry. Ghee. It is a natural, and it can be cooked with a high cooking. You can cook that on high heat. Ghee. Ghee have a like 28% unsaturated, but 6 to 8% saturated fat in it, which is good. You want to have more saturated fat in your product than unsaturated fat. All right now. Okay. So ghee was your number one best oil was ghee. The number two was butter, saturated, natural protein, saturated with grass-fed butter. Grass-fed butter you want. The third best oil was coconut oil, and that's the extra virgin coconut oil. The virgin or extra virgin coconut oil. And a good brand is NUTIVA, and it's mostly made in Canada. It's like a shorty fatty acid version of uh, saturated fat, coconut oil. And I was in the kitchen the other day, and it come to me that I forgot I had the coconut oil. I was putting something in the oven, and I wanted to grease my pan, and I just kept using my olive oil, and it came to me. You remember your coconut oil was better than your olive oil, and so I put the olive oil down, and I used some coconut oil. Well, I find a lot of these places that have got a lot of sodium uh, that's making them taste so good. So that's why I had to cut down some of these places, like that place right there, because it's got a lot of sodium in the soup. It had a lot of sodium in, like they put some sodium on the salad, on the dressing, because they don't ask you what dressing. They already got their own dressing, and I taste a lot of sodium in it. So yeah, so places don't give you a choice of what kind of dressing you want. That's not good. So and pastas is not good because it's starch, nothing but starch mostly. It's processed food. So it's according to what you're getting from that place. If you can get all the just the salad by itself and take your little uh, lemon juice or apple cider vinegar or whatever you want to put on that salad yourself with you in your purse, and put your own dressing. Tell them you don't want no dressing on your salad. Put your own dressing on your salad. No, well, it got most carb salad have got bacon on it, and bacon is processed food. And no, I don't mess with carb salads. Yes, sodium and MSG and trans fats. Don't forget the trans fats. They're not good. Yeah. Always watch your sodium, MSG, trans fats, and your sugars. Those are four things that cause inflammation. Number one thing called inflammation, chronic health problems, autoimmune problems. All right. The number four um, best oil was olive oil. Olive oil is number 4. And you want the unfiltered extra virgin olive oil. And the one that said cold pressed olive oil. It's in its nearest to natural state. That's what kind you want. It's a low medium cooking. It's for low medium cooking. Extra virgin, unfiltered, cold pressed olive oil. I always look for that kind. And number 5th best was the Lord and the tallow. That's the Lord from the uh, grease, and the tallow, the beef tallow. It's got its own, it's saturated fat. It's got its own oil. You don't have to put nothing in the pan to cook your hamburger, to cook your uh, bacon, hamburger. You don't have to put no oil in the pan. If you use the right kind of pan, stainless steel, stainless steel. Remember the stainless steel, cast iron, and the ceramic. You don't have to put no oil in the pan. It have its own oil. When that meat got its own oil, it's saturated. It's standing on its own. It's not bending under heat. The molecules are not bending under heat. It's in its natural state. So that's the 5th best oil. The meat that makes its own oil. You never seen a cow eating itself. A cow eats grass. So it's natural. Okay. The sixth best was with avocado oil. Avocado oil, but you want the unrefined avocado oil, extra virgin avocado oil, unrefined. You want that one, unrefined. Number 7th best oil was the safflower. Okay, it's not natural. It's unsaturated. Avocado was unsaturated too. Canola is unsaturated. That's number 8. It's GMO, genetically modified. He's got pesticides and a lot of pesticides in canola oil. I know a doctor told my aunt and uncle one time to use canola oil. And I'm like, he really didn't realize, I don't think, how bad it was. He told them to use canola oil of all oils, and that's the 8th worst oil. And they didn't last long. They had major heart problems. So canola oil is not as good as people think it is. It's unsaturated oil. It's got GMOs in it and a lot of pesticides. Okay. Soybean oil. It's got a lot of hexane, the extractor, that extracts the oil out of the seed or the bean, that and it produces the toxic chemicals called hexane. So highly, 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 highly toxic for the heart, the liver, the kidneys, the brain, and people. A lot of people getting Alzheimer's and dementia real bad. And the 10th worst one was flaxseed. Cold pressed. You want the cold pressed. Flaxseed is not to be heated. You don't heat flaxseed. It's good to put in your food. I love flaxseed. It detox your body, but it's not good to heat it. It's not for heating at that high heat. You refrigerate it. Use it cool. I got my flaxseed in the refrigerator. I always keep them in the refrigerator. Cold pressed flaxseed. It's not for eating. It's definitely not for frying it. I know people look at it, oh, this is a good kind of oil. I'm going to fry my meat in it. No, you cannot do that on the heat. Everything can't take the heat, especially the unsaturated products cannot take the heat. Only saturated in its natural state can take the heat and don't bend. All right, all right. So those are the oils that you need to never deep fry. You should never deep fry. It's going to produce more and more toxic chemicals. Never deep fry. All right, all right. Anybody else have any more questions? I tried to go over everything. It was so much information. You have to go back and look at those videos more than one time to get it all. Because the drinks by itself and the size that you get by itself are loaded with a lot of carbohydrates that don't even have no fiber in it. So you want some fiber. You want the size with fiber like the salads. Fiber, the more fiber for your diet, the more you're going to go to the bathroom and detox yourself. You got to have that fiber. And so there was a lot of information. So go back and look at the info. I'm going back and look at them myself over and over again and again. Because you may have missed something that you wasn't aware of. So eating fast food will cause depression, dental problems because of the sugar, depression because of the high heat, and it works on the brain of cooking the foods. And people wonder why it's such a large amount of people that's depressed today. Eating a lot of these toxic foods that have been cooked over and over in the same oil, and the oil been heated over and over, and the more the oil is heated over and over, the more toxic chemicals build up in that oil. So a lot of sickness and digestion problems are being discovered. Uh, of course, diabetes, of eating out a lot with the high sugar level that's given when you eat out a whole lot. Obesity is on a run, and obesity usually starts with the fat accumulating around your waist first, in your stomach area. Cancer is on the range page because the chemicals in it. You feed chemicals, cancer grow. You feed cancer with sugar, it grows. Okay, insulin resistance conditions in people's body, autoimmune system diseases where it attacks your good cells, bad bacteria and pathogens attacks the good cells, and the good cells attacks each other, autoimmune sicknesses. So when they making the oil come out the seed, not the natural way, like Crisco and all that stuff there, that's not good. And when it's not done naturally, it's going to create some problems. And number one thing is inflammation. Inflammation. So remember, high saturated fats, highly saturated fats, the better. Remember that. So you got to watch it. Cardiovascular diseases, being developed, high cholesterol are being developed the more you eating out there and get no toxic chemicals. And our clear is also on a rampage with that depression. I got to say that again. People are more depressed and they eat more and more hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries, uh, and they get more and more depressed and more and more depressed when they see the obesity on themselves. So we do it to ourselves, and knowledge is power. When you come into that knowledge of things, that's when you should change to do a. You got to do something different in order to see a change. If you just keep doing the same thing, you're not going to see a change. You're not going to see a change. So in order to see a change, you got to make a change. So we enjoy all you all tonight, and we hope you look at the video over and over and like, share the videos, and bring more people in so they can be more knowledgeable. Oh, well, let me tell this about the corn. That's one thing I didn't mention about the corn oil. A lot of people use corn oil. Corn oil damages your thymus gland. That's in your mouth, in your throat, your thymus gland. And also, it affects the production of sperms in males, what a lot of people may not know. Somebody told me a few days ago, I use corn oil. I said, you better watch it because the mate that you use corn oil to cook their food is messing up the production of sperms that they have. The male won't be able to produce the sperms like they're supposed to. It messes up production of sperms in your body. So corn oil is not good, y'all. All right now. And also cottonseed oil is another thing. It messes up male reproduction organs. It also harms the liver and the progesterone. And a lot of people wonder why they can't get pregnant. Maybe the male been eating too much stuff in corn oil and they hadn't produced the sperm they should have produced. So it's the little things that people not even thinking of that may be the problem why they having uh, problems with the reproduction organs. Who would think corn oil would interfere with the production of men's sperms? But it does. Corn oil. Okay. Thank you very much for the questions, you all, tonight. I enjoyed the questions. Thank you for the info. Thank you for the comments. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. So, what's wrong uh, with these oils? Increasing omega 6 more than omega 3. Uh, Industrial seeds are unstable and they oxidize easily, meaning they turn, the chemical changes turn easily. And they contain harmful additives. They put a lot of more additives to these chemicals when they're making the oils. They genetically modify the chemicals crops. And they repeatedly heat them over and over again and again, over and over. Okay? All right, all right, all right. So um, we enjoyed you all tonight, and we want you to be healthy and live healthy and long, long life. That's why we come to you with more and more info on what you can do for your body and how can you improve to live longer and more productive lives and not be so sick. So you all tune in to the next teaching we will be letting you know of, and we want suggestions. Y'all give us suggestions what you would love to hear a teaching on. and we will teach on it. I'm open to your suggestions. Send them to nursecarlotta@gmail.com. nursecarlotta@gmail.com. And don't forget to like your videos. Always like your videos when you see the videos. And we will be coming with more and more of info every week to let you know what you can do to live longer and better, healthier life, overall health, for your overall health, not just eating, for your overall health. And we love you all. And you have a good night too to you all.